Hey, this is James the Beach Bum with another story time. This is the time my buddy visited me from Mexico. What's going on, man? So this is the time my buddy came to visit me from Mexico. And a lot of people were telling me, hey, don't let this dude come visit you. This is an American YouTuber. And I was like, nah. He invited me to Mexico to visit him, so I want him to come to the DR and come visit me. So I'm thinking things are cool. Now, one thing I hate to say is the guy doesn't like to pay for good service for anything. And I got him a taxi guy for a really, really good rate. I mean, the cheapest that he could probably get it. A good guy, speaks English. And he keeps trying to haggle with the guy. I said, man, we've already got you our group rate. We can't do better than that. The guy's not going to make any money, but because he's part of our group, he's doing it for you for a favor. So this guy starts haggling with the guy and start calling him all types of Mexican curse words and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, seriously? Like, look, you're messing things up already. You haven't even been here for an hour, and you're already messing the game up. Like, seriously. And before that, I found him a nice place for $150 a month with a business partner of mine, a lady that I've done business with for years. She owns a lot of property, and she was actually losing some money, but because there were no tourists here, he said, hey, she'll let him, live there for the month for $150 plus lights. And he started acting crazy with her because she really wanted the place for $500, but she was a really good friend of mine. And $500 was fair, but he's like $150. I said, brother, seriously. She agrees to it. She's like, sure, just pay the light bill. And he's like, no, I need it for $100. But she's like, no, I can't do that. Plus, the dude was mad disrespectful. So I'm like, bro, that's the second person that you burned. So he decides to, he's like, hey man, can you find me another spot? I said, look, you can stay with me, but you gotta pay me that $150. Because I'm starting to catch on to what he's trying to do. He's trying to bum off people. And I really don't like that. So what ends up happening is he comes to stay at my spot, and one of my friends, she's a cool girl, known her for years, really, she's a really good friend. And he asked her, does she know any girls? And she says, yeah, here's a girl that can come over, tonight, that type of thing, come to our place, see if he's a decent guy or anything like that, see if she wants to date him or anything. But he has to pay the taxi because she has to pay a babysitter. And she was coming from about maybe an hour away. And, I hate to say it, but the dude was super mad cheap. And it was nothing. He wanted to come, but he's like, oh, well, she got to pay. I was like, bro, don't come here with that BS. Pay the taxi and tell her not to come. So, oh, yeah, tell her to come. He's like, bro, we're letting you know. The only thing you got to pay is the taxi. Nothing else. Just pay the taxi because she already paid for a babysitter for her kids. If you're going to act crazy, let us know now. He's like, no, things are cool. So he comes, and we have a problem because he doesn't want to pay the taxi. The taxi was mad cheap. Got at a Dominican rate, not an American rate, none of that. So like I said, too many people are looking out for this guy, and I'm looking out for this guy, and these guys ruined my reputation. So I'm like, bro, look, we're going to drive you to the ATM, and you're going to get this money out of here and pay the taxi because we're not playing that BS. So, reluctantly, he does that. And I also make sure he pays me half of my money, $150, to live in a nice place. And I hate to say this, he pays me $75 out of the $150. And the guy's hemming and hawing about that. I'm like, bro, it's only $75. Seriously? Like, I could literally charge you a few $100 to stay at my place, but I'm not going to do that. So after that, one of the apartments that I was looking to move to is ready with another business partner of mine. Her and her husband own, carneria, a butcher shop. They own a butcher shop. They also own phone stores, like car dealerships. They own a bunch of businesses. And the ladies looked out for me in the past because I found her a lot of renters. My ex-girlfriend used to rent through her and a whole bunch of other stuff. So she has this nice luxury apartments that I moved to. Nice 2-bedroom, everything, marble, 4K TV, washing machine, everything. Nice pool. I have my own pool. So I got to go to the bank to get the money to pay the lady. I said, hey, the lady's going to come with some of the movers to move some new furniture in there. He's like, all right, cool. This asshole decides to tell her, she asked him, can he help her move some of the stuff in? He says, well, are you going to pay me? I said, brother, you're staying at my place for $150. You're talking crazy to one of my business partners. And you don't want to help move any of the furniture that you're going to be sleeping on? Bro, seriously, you're really messing up the game. Now, a lot of my buddies are like, kick him out, but I don't want to be a bad host. He came all the way from Mexico, even though he's from California, to live at my spot. This is where the trouble really starts. He starts bringing all these crazy girls over to my spot, drug heads, drug addicts, all types of crazy stuff. And I have some of my friends, my company, Haitian, from my Haitian company, and he's talking crazy to them. He's talking down to them because he heard that, you can talk down to Haitians in the DR. I said, you respect everybody. You respect Haitians, you respect Dominicans, you respect Chinese, so don't come acting crazy. One of my guests actually storms out of the house while I'm coming back from the grocery store to get something to eat. And I'm like, bro, I bought all this pizza and this drinks, and this girl that I've never had any issues with for years stormed out, pissed. What the hell did you say? Oh, well, I was this. I said, okay, let me call her up. She's crying on the phone. I literally wanted to throw this dude off the balcony because that pissed me off. I said, this is one of the sweetest people I've ever known, and you're like, bro, seriously? If I have one more issue with you, we're going to have a problem. So, anyway, he's doing some YouTube videos with crackheads and skanks and all this other stuff. I'm like, bro, seriously? One of the old heads, an Army veteran, commander that lives here, so he tells me, look, this guy's messing up your business. He's doing a lot of stuff. You really need to get rid of this guy. So I think about it. I sit on it for 3 days. In those 3 days, he's just acting crazy, acting a fool. I end up saying, look, bro, you gotta get out. You've been here for 2 weeks. You've been here for a little over 2 weeks. You gotta find some place else to stay. I'll wait a couple days for you to find a place to stay. But you're acting crazy. You brought thieves and all this other stuff to my house, and I've welcomed you, to my home. He's crazy and he wants his $75 back. You stayed in a luxury apartment for 2 weeks with everything that you could imagine, and you want $75 back? Bro, fuck you. So, kick his ass out of the house and say, if I have any other problems with you, I'm calling the police. One, because they're gonna have to take me to jail for what I'm about to do to you. Like, I don't play that shit. You fuck up my business, you're fucking up my money. So, anyway, so he's talking about, man, this guy abandoned me and this and I said, bro, I didn't abandon you, I gave you so many chances. But nobody even wants you here. So he decides to go to another spot, try to bum it out, gets kicked out of there, goes to another spot in Santiago, gets kicked out of there. Goes to Santo Domingo, gets kicked out, comes back to Cabarete, gets kicked out. He finally decides to go home because he's just burning bridges all over the place. People don't want him back in the country. And that goes to part of the story where not everybody is equipped to travel worldwide. You have issues in Mexico. You get your car stolen after your girlfriend told you don't park your car here because the cartel is going to take it. They took his car. You come here, messing people's business up, disrespecting, all this other stuff. I'm trying to having to keep people from fighting you. You're messing up, people's money. Like, bro, if you're an American and you feel like you can just treat anybody the way you want to be treated, you're gonna have a problem. So this is a story for those people that feel like they're the big shot. You can get hurt out here. You can get hurt in Mexico. People have machetes, guns, all types of stuff. They'll cut your head off and throw it in the street, which is something we saw. An actual guy got his head cut off and thrown in the street as an example. It is not a game when you're traveling internationally. Show some respect. Like guys that were in Colombia. You know, they throwing money. Talk to me. And the next thing you know, you get tied up in duct tape, and those Colombians could have blown your brains out because you saying, talk to me, mommy. Okay, mommy gonna call her homeboys, her brothers, her compadres to come over and talk to you. Hopefully that intervention showed you that it's not a game out here. But anyway, that's the end of the story time. I'll have a few more stories on some crazy stuff that comes out in the DR and Mexico and Colombia, but this one, I just want to say to the guys, be careful. Don't be an idiot. Don't throw your money around. Don't mess people's business up. Don't disrespect, because these people got guns and weapons and they do not care about burying you for real. Bury you into the ground. A lot of people are nice and humble, but if you start messing up, look, that's your ass.